Hi students, welcome to online class. So in this video we are going to discuss about chapter 9 Introduction to C++. See, in this video we are going to discuss about explicit type conversion. In the previous video we have discussed about implicit type conversion. In this video we are going to discuss about explicit type conversion. See, C++ allows explicit conversion of variable or expressions from one data type to another data type, another specific data type. See, here also we are going to convert the variable or expression. We can convert any variable or expression from one particular data type to another data type. So another specific data type. This conversion is done by the programmer. It is not done in an automatic manner. Whenever the conversion is done in an automatic manner, then that is called implicit conversion or automatic conversion. But whenever the conversion is done by the programmer, that is the user, then that conversion is called explicit conversion, or it is otherwise called as typecasting. It is otherwise called as typecasting, changing from one data type to another specific data type. Now let us see the syntax, how to do the explicit conversion. See, before the variable or expression, you want to specify the data type. That is, data type name should be given. What data type that should be specified before the variable or expression. Can you understand, students? Yes. So here, where type name is the valid C++ data type to which the conversion is to be performed. So in which data type you are going to convert, that data type should be specified in this place, that is within the parenthesis. You want to specify the data type. So what data type you are going to specify means to which you want to convert. This variable or expression. This variable or expression should be converted to which data type. That should be specified within the parenthesis. Can you understand, students? Yes. Now you can see the example. From this example you can understand the explicit type conversion. Now see this program. So hash include IOStream using namespace std int main opening curly brace. Now you see these two lines. What is this first line? Float where f is equal to 78.685. So from this line we can understand that this variable belongs to floating data type. This variable belongs to floating data type and the value is 78.685. Now I am going to convert this variable into integer and then I am going to print it. I am going to convert into integer and then I am going to print the variable. Now see here, cout int of varf. See, before the variable name they have specified the data type. So now what will happen means this variable is converted to integer data type and then we are printing the value. We are converting the varf variable into integer and then we are going to print. Now you see here in the above program, variable varf is declared as float. That is what I told you. Varf is a variable that belongs to floating data type. And then what is the initial value they have given? 78.685. 78.685. Now we can see this in practical manner. So first of all, you want to copy this program. So I am just copying this program. So open Dev C++, start Dev C++, or else it will be available in the desktop also, right? Control plus N, Control plus V. After pasting this, Control plus S, you want to save this program. So explicit, right? Then now when I press F9, right, now you say, students, what will be the output for this program? See, the varf is a variable and then it is assigned as 78.685. But in output statement, we are trying to convert that variable to integer. That is, floating point value is converted to integer. Right? The larger data type is going to be converted into smaller one. Float is the larger data type which contains the whole number, decimal point and fractional part. But integer contains only the whole number. Integer contains only the whole number. It does not contain decimal point and fractional part. So now what will happen? 78.685 will be changed to 78. That means the decimal point and the fractional part will be removed. The decimal point and the fractional part will be removed. So when I press F10, now you can see the result. What is the result? 78. So the value 78 is printed on the screen. Can you understand, students? We are trying to convert the float data type to integer. So the programmer is used to convert the float data type into integer. It may be any data type. You can convert from larger to smaller. But when I used to convert larger to smaller, something will happen. That is, for example, in this example, 78.685. We are trying to convert into integer. So now what happens? That 0.685 is not displayed. So that is a loss. We are getting loss of data. Is it right or not? We are getting some loss of data is done there. Now we can discuss about those things. See, the value varf is explicitly converted to integer data type in cout statement. Thus, the final output will be 78. Can you understand, students? Can you understand the program in a practical manner? We are trying to convert the variable from one data type to another data type. So the conversion is done using the specifying the data type by the programmer. We want to specify the data type and then we are converting from one data type to another. So in this we have converted float data type to integer. So 78.685 is changed as 78. So during this explicit conversion, so this is the main point. During this explicit conversion, if you assign a value to a data type with greater range, it does not cause any problem. So there is no problem whenever we are assigning the value with a greater range, that is with the decimal point or without, we can specify any value with a greater range. There is no problem. But whenever we are assigning the value of a larger type to smaller type, so that is what I told. Floating data type is assigned to integer data type. Is it right or not? We are trying to convert the float data type to integer. Float is larger, but int is shorter. Float can accept whole number, decimal point, fractional part. But integer does not accept decimal point and fractional part. It accepts only the whole number. So larger type to a smaller type may result in losing or loss of precision values. So after the decimal point, some numbers are lost. that is loss of precision values. After the decimal point, some values are lost. In the above example, what we get? 78. What about the point 685? Those values are lost. Can you understand, students? So here they have given you the loss. Whenever we change double to float, whenever we use double to float, that is double value is explicitly going to be converted to float, what will happen? The loss of data is there. Double to float, loss of precision. Loss of precision. If the original value is out of range for the target type, the result becomes undefined. What they are trying to say? Double occupies much amount of data, that is after the decimal point, it may contain 7 to 14 digits. It may contain 7 to 14 digits. After the decimal point it can accept, but float, it won't accept 14 digits or more than 10 digits, more than 7 digits it won't accept. So it reduces the range of values. So there is a loss of precision. There is a loss of precision. Like that you can see float to int. Float is converted to int. Now we have seen in the last example. So here also we are losing the fractional part. The loss of fractional part. Loss of fractional part. So we are targeting the larger type to smaller type. So loss of fractional part. Like that long data type to short. Whenever we are assigning long to short, so that is also loss of data. That is also you are going to lose some data. Can you understand, students? In these three types of conversions we are losing the data. Now let us see the another example. With this example you can understand how the data is lost. How the data is lost. So just I am copying this program. Now you see double varf 178.25255685. Double varf 178.25255685. Now we are converting this variable, double variable, to float. Now what happens? When we convert double to float, what is the output? First output 178.253. See, after the decimal point, how many digits? Nearly 8 digits. But when we are converting the double to float, it is converting to 3 digits. After the decimal point, it is accepting only 3. Then see, what about the integer? When we convert the double to int, what happens? Totally, what are the fractional part? Whatever the numbers which are in fractional part, so that is not accepted. That is not accepted. Can you understand, students? Now let us see the program in a practical manner. Let's see in a practical manner. So control plus N, control plus V. So I am just saving the program control plus S. So file name is explicit1.cpp. So I am saving as explicit1.cpp. After saving the program, when I press F9, so it compiles the program. There is no error. When I press F10, now you can see the result. Can you see the result? 178.253. So what about the other decimal digits? Other decimal digits are not displayed. So we lose some data. In the second output, we are converting double to integer. So all the decimal points, after the decimal point, whatever the values are there, all the values are lost. Can you understand, students? So I think you might have understood the explicit conversion. So let's end the class. So thank you, students.